Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ASF Mascot Mania Breakdown Show. That's what you call it. That's the name of it. Yep, we're off to a good start this time. This is, like I said it wasn't the vlog, but it was just news that we already did this about a month ago, but we weren't happy with it at all. But we're gonna do a better job this time around, aren't we? I damn sure hope we do, but we're going to be doing this in stages, like one day after the next. So we'll be covering a few matches here today, and then we'll be doing some more tomorrow, and some more the next day. So that's how we're going to format this. But yeah, this is basically we're going to be covering every single match. We tried to do it in one spell swoop last time, and it didn't work out because we got tired and some things were missed out that needed to be pointed out. We just forgot. So now we're fully focused. We will be covering 3 matches in this first part, and those specifically will be the interpromotional matches. We thought we'd get those out the way and done. And then on part 2, we'll be covering all the Raw matches for Mascot Mania. And then on the third and final part, we will be covering all the Smashdown matches. So essentially, we'll be doing 3 matches today, 5 matches tomorrow, and 4 matches on part 3 at the end of it. And that will cover everything. That's all 12 matches. But with that being said, I am Mr. AKI, and he's Dr. Eggman, and we're off, I think. For a second time, yeah. We're off. So we do have some comments to cover from YouTube. We won't be covering all of them, obviously, in this one. One of them pertains to the Sonic and Scourge match, but that will be covered in part 2. And we have a lot of predictions here from Worms. You know, that guy, our old friend. Yeah. But yeah, he's contributed a few of his predictions, so we'll see what we make of those coming up as the night progresses. Namely, for the first 3 matches, we will be covering the Fatal 4-Way Elimination match for the Women's Championship. Peach versus Amy versus Takal versus Lisa. So that we'll be covering that one. We'll also be doing Cyrus versus Kana. We'll be covering that, and also we'll be covering one of the big main attractions for Mascot Mania is going to be Astroth versus Chaos in the Unpinnable Challenge. So we'll be covering those 3 today. So that's what to expect. I don't know how long we're going to be running for, but we have an infinite amount of time to spend however long we need to. So, but yeah, you'll probably see how long it is by clicking on the video. Or before you click on the video. So you'll already know, but we don't know. We don't have a crystal ball or anything. And we don't have a crystal ball as such for any predictions that Eggman may give out, because that's what his job is going to be. But we're basically going to be breaking down everything, going over what needs to be gone over. This was one of your ideas, Eggman, because you said it was going to help people understand the storylines and everything. Yeah, and I think it has, and it always will do, because the storylines are kind of hard to follow that we set up in some way, shape, or form, or at least sometimes when it comes to the stuff we do on the actual show, because it's kind of hard to do that in a video game. I'd much rather do it with actual people, but hey, we all beggars can't be choosers. Yeah, we really want a job in this avenue. No, we don't. We're just doing this because we like doing it. Yeah, we do. But it's good to always, seeing as people do like storylines to back up all the matches, then that's what we'll be covering, and all the factors that take into consideration. This is basically a breakdown show, and that's what it's going to be called, and that's what we're going to be doing. So we spent 5 minutes talking about what we're going to be doing. So let's crack on. I'm gonna throw it out to a random draw on what we cover first. So I suggest we leave Astroff and Chaos for the end. So you pick either the women's championship match or Kana versus Cyrus. I say we should get Kana versus Cyrus out the way. I think that's the least important out of all of the three that matches we'll be covering. Not saying it isn't important. It's going to be a fun match to watch, that's for sure. Um, but that's the one that's least important, certainly out of these three. So let's cover that one first. All right, that's the way we're going to be doing things. Let's do it. So Cyrus versus Kana. There's no special stipulation, but this is basically a bit of a story of I told you so, almost in a sense, because it's a case of Cyrus. He returned. Okay, he came back, and before he did though, the Cyrus robot mysteriously starts or attacked Kana. Not mysteriously, he only did it once, but he attacked Kana. And many of us were wondering why. And then Cyrus came back and explained that he wasn't happy that Kana was suddenly turning down her general manager position to become an actual regular performer for Raw, for the women's division. And she's doing it with respect to her, of course, because I'm not going to put her down for her decision. But she wants to back up the women's division because it has been a little dry on the Raw front, and that's the last thing I ever want in any division in the ASF. It's for it to become stale and limited to what you can do with it. So she's adding to the female roster for Raw so that we can build up the female division again. And she's had some amazing matches since she's been here, since she debuted. So I'm looking forward to seeing more stuff from Connor, and I'm certainly looking forward to seeing this kind of match. What other factors are there taken here? So yeah, Cyrus is basically setting this up to say, I have the ultimate control, and you used to have that control, but I'll make you realize the mistake you made at Mascot Mania by beating you with the amount of control that I have. So is that a consideration to take in? Well, first off, before I say anything, I'd just like to say this is going to be a true clash of styles, because Cyrus is very articulate in his actions. He's very calm and collected. He's controlled in the ring. He hasn't had a lot of matches in the SF, but that's only because he's a form of authority, and we tend to not do that. But that's why Connor turned down her position, because she finds the competition of in the ring to be more fun than running the show. And that's her end of the bargain. That's her end of the persuasion. Who doesn't want to get involved in the action that takes place in the ring? So in order to do that, she needed to step down as general manager, and lo and behold, here we are. And she has, and now she's a regular performer, and we're going to treat her as such. But that means that she's got to do what we tell her, and she can't do vice versa. That's Cyrus's argument. It's like suddenly she's become, pawn life compared to the higher ups, shall we say, if you will. So that's what Cyrus is getting at. She's making her. He is going to make her realize the mistake that she made in this match, which suggests to me that he may be swaying the ball in his favor. So the odds are against Connor in this match. It's safe to say. So yeah. So you're thinking there's going to be some interference, or he might change the stipulation halfway through? Yeah, he's basically going to bend the rules in his favor. This is basically a Cyrus rules match, if anything, if you can call it that, because that's what it's going to be at the end of the day. Though you just never know. He might just want to just plain beat up Connor. I mean, I know there's a few people who used to want to beat up Connor, namely me. Yeah, do you still want to? I'm not going to answer that one, but I'm on the fence. Let's just say. Okay, well that was answering it, so, but never mind. Awkward silence, but yeah. Anyway, I answered it there. But Connor's entertaining. Like I said, this is going to be a clash of styles. As I was saying, Cyrus is very careful with his actions, and Connor's just all over the place. but she's not Billy all over the place. You know, when we watch a Billy match and he's just doing whatever he feels necessary to amuse everyone, whereas Connor, she amuses people, but she also has an offense about her. So it's effective what she does. It's almost like a distraction and throwing people off their game plan. Because she is very distracting and she can make you confused and discombobulated, I think is the term I'm looking for. Yeah, that's for sure. She distracts me a lot when we're just commentating, so I can't imagine what it's like to be in the ring, trying to, shall we say, manhandle her. You can say anything you want, and have so far, so keep going. um, so, I would like you to give a strategy, so we say, for Cyrus. Well, Cyrus needs to not be distracted. He needs to go into that match. If he is going to manipulate the match into his favor, then technically he doesn't have to go in with a plan of any kind. He can just say, "Well, Kana can't beat me by pinfall because she just pinned me by pinfall," but that's not the rules in this match. See, he can change it. This may be an interpromotional match because Cyrus is from the SmackDown and Connor is from Raw, but he can still overrule because he's a general manager, whereas Connor, you see, can't. Whereas if Connor was still a general manager, they would be controlling each other. That would be even more chaotic. But you know, there you go. Yeah. So basically, Cyrus doesn't have to have a game plan. Is what you're saying. If he's going to bend the rules, he doesn't. But otherwise, I would say don't get distracted and try and cut her off because once you get her down, it's kind of hard for Connor to get back up. He's taken some nasty bumps in the past, but it's been nothing too serious. Well, it has been serious. What am I saying? I mean, she's fallen off the top turnbuckle onto the apron and still survived to live on. But yeah, Cyrus just needs to keep her down and not make her use the distracting tactic. And that would be my strategy for Connor as well, is to keep away from Cyrus if all. He's going to be more powerful, and he's going to have a longer reach for punches and stuff, so just keep away from him. To play the keep away game and manipulate him and confuse him, and then strike. So that's my two strategies for going into that one. So would you like a conclusion now? Yes, we might as well move on. So who do you think is going to win? I'm going to check the comments on YouTube. Because we have some predictions from Worms here. So his prediction for Connor versus Cyrus is Connor is going to win. Interesting. Well, I'm kind of almost swaying in Connor's favor because, but that's only if her strategy works. If she manages to keep away from Cyrus and not feel his wrath, so to speak, and if Cyrus doesn't manipulate the match to a certain degree. I don't know. All of these matches are going to be really tough to call. I can foresee because we totally haven't done this already. But no, I'm actually swaying more towards Cyrus, but that's only if he's going to manipulate that match in his favor, which I've got a feeling he might. So I'm picking Cyrus. So you're going against Worms. I'm going against Worms on that one. I'm picking Cyrus to win. I think he's going to pull it off because he's got the credentials, let's say. Whereas Connor, she's just a bit player. And if Cyrus plays his cards right, he's going to, and he usually does a lot of the time, he loves being in control of situations. So, yeah, I pick Cyrus to win that match. But, hey, Connor, you got more reason to prove me wrong now. Yes, indeed, indeed. Also, by the way, before we move on to the next match, I would like to say that Ask the Roster is happening. We have 2 questions already. 2 questions, woo. Okay, so it will be happening. I don't care how short or how long it is, but that's up to you guys. But any questions that you can foresee that we might inspire you to ask throughout these 3 parts over the next 3 days, do type them in the comments below, and we will cover every single one, regardless of how great or how idiotic it is. We'll cover everything. Now you're demanding too much. Just write a load of stupid questions. Yeah. It takes a lot to think of a stupid question. It actually does, in a sense. But well, you won't be there for that, will you? No, I won't be. Okay, but I'll be there for that, obviously, because I'll be reading and answering all the questions. But yeah, if you want more questions to ask, then you have only the comment section to go. We may inspire you to come up with a question for anyone on the roster. And we're talking about anyone. Anyone! Yeah, and make sure it's relevant, though. Yeah, it could pertain to anything, but specifically try and pertain it to Mascot Mania subjects or anything that's happened in the shows previously that is relevant. But yes, if we don't cover it here, then well, most likely we won't cover it here. But you know what I mean. So yes, get asking away. If you think of anything at all, just anything that pops in your head, because you never know. Because you're not missing much up here on the screen, so you may as well be in the comment section anyway, because we're not doing much up here, we're just talking. That's what we do best. Yeah. So, moving on, we have the Fatal 4-Way Elimination match for the Women's Championship. Peach is defending from SmackDown to take on 3 Raw opponents in Amy Rose, Takal, and Lisa Simpson. So, with that being said, let's break down the factors for this match. So, first off, Lisa has an incredible win at the Rumble and wins the Women's Championship off of the former champion, Cream. And everything is right with the world. Yeah, because she came over from SmackDown after the ASF match, which voted her to, and she lost against her own brother, and the voting decision was to make her go to Raw, away from the anti-heroes, and now she's a single competitor instead of being a tag competitor with her dad over on SmackDown. But it was a really positive thing to do, because in the end it resulted in Lisa winning the Women's Championship, and everyone was happy. I'm sure Lisa was over the moon as well. So yeah, there's that. So and then on the Raw following, of course, sadly we have the anti-heroes takeover of Raw, and one of those things involves Peach actually having a match for the Women's Championship and pretty much breaking every rule in the book just to get the championship. She used Rouge and Samus to make her win it, and then she practically stole the Women's Championship from Raw and took it to SmackDown, and she's been kind of defending it in a sense, but not against, shall we say, worthy opponents. So she's been a bit of a screw job there. And then back on Raw, Lisa won a #1 contenders match in a hell of a triple threat match, which now features both the other participants in it as well due to manipulation. But Lisa earned the right to face Peach at Mascot Mania for the championship. And then, of course, so she technically is the true #1 contender. The others have just been added, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. And speaking of that, of course, and then Takal over on SmackDown decides to align herself with the anti-heroes, and Takal is a Raw competitor, but for some reason, because of the manipulation from the anti-heroes spy, who we know now is Sonya, that Takal decided to team up to help Peach and Peach's cabinet. So, but is this a true thing? But we'll go more into detail about that in a minute. And then finally, you, Eggman, put Amy in as a backup plan, because we're on the suspicion side that Takal's going to be helping Peach to take out Lisa here, and then you also added the elimination rule, so that Peach has to go through all of her opponents technically, even though it's going to be in a fatal four-way fashion with all the competitors in the ring at once. And then obviously someone will get eliminated, they'll go down to 3 people, and then we'll go down to a one-on-one, and whoever gets the pinfall there or the decision, whatever it may be, will win the championship. So you're kind of almost assisting Peach in losing the championship, but at the same time, it's going to hinder, and we're just surrounded with mystery in this match, to say the very least. So let's elaborate on the goings on, because as we said, Takao has apparently aligned herself, I use the term very loosely, with the anti-heroes. But is this a legitimate action, or is it to get an advantage? Yeah, because I've been thinking about that for a little while now, because I've been thinking Takao is a Raw competitor, and she put on a hell of a match with the other 2 competitors, namely Lisa and Amy, in that triple threat #1 contenders match, but she came up short. So is this her way of trying to get into the championship match, seeing as she did pull off a hell of a match on Raw to try and get in that position, but obviously she came up short? Is this Takal's secret little plan? I think we should keep our eyes on Takal's actions in this match, to say the very least, because she's manipulative. I mean, she's tricked us before. When she came back after being kidnapped by Cream, she came back and actually turned her back on Amy, who was obviously in her court. So again, is this another step of manipulation by Takao, except this time to catch out the anti-heroes with the saying, "Oh, of course, I will serve you." But is this a way to get at the women's championship? Because she's been itching to get that title. Because technically, she never actually owned it when she was with Cream, even though they were saying they were joint champions. But she never actually held the belt. So is this Takao's way of saying getting in there? And I'm all for it, because what I don't want is for Peach to walk out of this match with the title, because it's not a SmackDown championship. It should be on Raw, because SmackDown now has 4 championships and Raw only has 2. So we need the women's championship away. We need it away from SmackDown. We need it away from Peach, and that's why I've done my best to try and put the odds in everyone else's favor other than Peach. So yeah. I get what you mean. Yeah, that's gonna be the big what if. Has Takao really aligned herself with Peach, or is this just a way to get at the championship? We'll have to find out with Takao's actions at the actual event, of course. So Amy was also added as backup. This is in case of Takao. So Amy is in there, but she may use this as an opportunity to get the women's championship as well. She wanted it in the Mascot Rumble, just maybe. I mean, there was certainly I mean, she probably wants it more now that it's on SmackDown. I think all 3 contenders do want to win the championship, but are they going to play it smart and team up, or are they going to simply fight each other? So that's going to be the big what if. There's a lot of mystery surrounding this match indeed, depending on what motives are lingering in each persona, shall we say, in this match. Yeah, it's just going to be a simple case of what happens next. We'll note the course of action of what happens as the conclusion of the match and who is going to win the championship. But Peach is not going to have an easy time either way, because she can't defend herself very well. Like you said, she's manipulated herself to get the championship in the first place. She technically didn't win it, but she still has it. But that was through unfair means. But so she's got the disadvantage. Even if Takao is by her side, they've still got to take on Amy and Lisa, who are definitely itching to get the title back on Raw. And that's going to be their motivation for that, if it comes to that. And realizing that Takao is legit. But that's only if she is, and not just, like I said, in there for the title. But you never know. Is there any other factors to bring into case here? That's why we're retaking this, because you just never know. um, I would actually like to, if I'm going to predict winners, I would actually like to predict the order of elimination, if I dare say. I know you probably haven't got that in the comments, but yeah, who's Worms got to predict the winner of this match? Let me just have a look. It's Lisa. Lisa is apparently going to, he thinks is going to win the women's championship back away from Peach. Okay then, well that's high spirits, and I may go with that. But either way, I'd be satisfied with either Amy Takal or any of the Raw competitors to win the women's championship. But hey, I guess the title was stolen from Lisa, so I guess justice would be served, and the best option to pick would be Lisa as a conclusion. But the order of elimination, if everyone's going to gang up on Peach, then she's definitely out. She's going, okay? And then we'll be guaranteed to have the title back on Raw, but we'll also be guaranteed to have a new champion. And whoever that may be, it may be Lisa, I don't know. But we'll have another awesome triple threat match, maybe, as a result. Yeah, okay. I hear you. So what if Takal is actually aligned herself with Peach? What is going to be the elimination order then? Depends. Although I think the disadvantage will be, I think they might just beat up Peach and then focus on Takal and then eliminate her, and then they've got her out the way, so she'll be the first one eliminated, and then obviously they'll eliminate Peach and then whoever comes down last. So yeah, I think that's the way it's going to go, depending on what happens. If everyone beats up everyone and it's an actual fatal four-way, which is probably the least likely to happen, then I would say Peach gets eliminated first. Man, I'm really picking on her, aren't I? Yeah, well, you've had a bad history with her, haven't you? I have. I've had a terrible history with her. So, all the more smite towards her. But yeah, Peach, 2 out of 3 chances she's going out first. Or she's going out second. That's on the one other occasion. But yeah, it depends on what happens. But I wish all the Raw competitors the best. And Takal, if this is an evil plan, then I approve, because I love evil plans. Well, we will see. But the overall winner, are you still going with Lisa on this one? Yeah, I think I will pick Lisa for this one. I really do. I mean, it'd be great. Lisa is more motivated than I've ever seen. Heck of a win at the Rumble. Sadly got manipulated and beat up, and the title stolen from her, which gave her more fire and more energy, and won that awesome #1 contenders match. Lisa is looking good to get back her championship at Mascot Mania, at the biggest show of them all, for the ASF anyway. Can I also point out on a side subject here, that I never thought we would be in this current situation right now. I mean, sitting here talking about this event, because you don't realize, people, this guy has put himself out to bring this show back. But he loves doing it. I know that for a fact. I mean, we both love doing it. But it's just that real life has really taken a course on him. And, but I got respect for him and all that for coming back and doing this, because I really love doing it myself. And I'm sure you love doing it as well. Yeah, of course. I mean, I always said that no matter what, there's going to be that empty shell if I do come back. Or if I do go away, sorry. There's always going to be, I just want to, I'm not totally heavily involved in the wrestling industry anymore, but I'm still interested enough in order to produce my own show, because I want to give my side of the table for how I would make a wrestling show, and this is how I would make it. Everything you see before you, or whatever. Ideally, I would like, just as Eggman said, I would like actual performers or whatever to deal with. But this is the best thing that we've got that we can do for free or whatever. Yeah, and we're doing a pretty damn good job considering. I think everyone will agree with you there. But yeah, I never thought we'd be in this position because real life was really taking a toll on you, and this show had to take a back seat. But you pushed forward, and I'm glad. I'm sure everyone else is glad too. So I give you a thumbs up. Thanks. You're so kind. um. So yeah. But that was the women's championship match covered. And it's all been interesting so far, but we have one more match left, and Eggman, it's the big one. Oh, we have the big one indeed. Not maybe the biggest, but certainly a very anticipated matchup, but you can carry on. Yes, it is the unpinnable challenge. Astroth is going to be taking on the unpinnable Chaos. Oh yes, that's his new moniker, it seems. So yeah, you want to break it down? Yeah, let's break it down. Okay, so Chaos, as of late, has obviously gained a reputation for not being pinned. Ever since Armageddon, he's kind of had that moniker of not being able to be pinned by anyone. And people have been trying, and some people haven't, and some people have attempted to try and pin Chaos, and they've come up short. Be it Chaos has overpowered them or something else has happened, but Chaos seems to be avoiding pinfalls as much as possible. Even the current Intercontinental Champion Shadow couldn't do it on a couple of occasions when there were pinfalls in play, I should add. So, yeah. I mean, Chaos lost in the Mascot Rumble due to a countout, not by a pinfall. And also, he was in a mini battle royal on the pre-show for the Mascot Rumble, and he was counted out there, I believe, too. So usually that's been the approach, is just to catch Chaos outside, and that's been the way that he's been losing, if he's been losing at all. But yeah, he's become an unpinnable machine, and despite what people try, they cannot pin him. But of course, Astroth is the one who believes that he can pin Chaos. He is the answer, someone from Smashdown. So this is technically a big battle for brand supremacy, if you want to call it that. Can one of the most powerful competitors from Smashdown actually pin one of the most powerful competitors, certainly on Raw? And it's definitely going to be one of those mammoth clashes that I'm sure a lot of people look forward to, including myself and including you and including probably everyone else. That's usually what everyone encompasses. Yes. So they both had a pick your poison match where they both were victorious. Chaos was in a table match against Link in the end, and he won that match. Not rather convincingly, but good enough. Astroth also had a match. He had I believe it was a no disqualification match of some kind, and that was facing. Ooh, I forgot now who he was facing. He was facing Zone 1. Yeah, and Astroth, he was struggling a bit there, but he managed to get the final blow in the end, and yeah, so he's showing off his dominance. They both are going into this match looking very, very impressive. I would just like to get your thoughts on what could be the key to beating Chaos, perhaps. The key to beating Chaos is to not go for a pinfall. But no, obviously Astroth. I mean, there's been previous competitors. I mean, Sonic tried it, and he had the willpower and did almost beat Chaos, but then some other unfortunate things happened. Because that's what Sonic is always known for, causing trouble. And Knuckles faced him, but that was when Knuckles was changing up his strategy and game plan. We'll be talking about that on part 2, by the way. Oh yeah, there you go. Let's plug the second part. Yeah, we'll be talking about that championship match. But and then he also had a match with who else wanted to pin him? I know that was someone else. Oh no, it's been a little while, and I've been busy. I've been busy too, and very forgetful. I apologize. Yes, don't worry, all is forgiven. But yeah, he's had some people who really want to get that pinfall victory over him. But of course, as it's come up short, and people are unable to pin Chaos no matter what it seems. Yeah, but Astroth is the one that he thinks he can pin Chaos. He's got the move set to do it, let's call it. I mean, the Astroth bomb is one of the most devastating finishing moves in the ASF, and it can certainly pin a lot of people, maybe, perhaps, including Chaos. And that would be a heck of a moment to watch if that were the case. That we finally get to see Chaos fall at the hands of a pinfall. If that is indeed the case at all. I mean we're looking at this with the glass half empty, because we're forgetting about Chaos himself. I mean, he's no pushover. He can bring the pain, and he's got some devastating finishing moves of his own. I mean, well, this is almost a clash of the power bombs. Astroth has the Astroth bomb, which is a sit-down power bomb, and then Chaos has also a sit-down power bomb, but it goes straight into a pin, and that is the Chaos control bomb, I believe. Yes. So it is a clash of the power bombs, but of course they have additional arsenals. Just Astroth has his brute strength that not a lot of people can match, and even the bigger guys in the ASF have had trouble trying to manhandle Astroth and try and control the match in their favor. And as Astroth's been facing all kinds of opponents, but they've always had that little bit of disadvantage because Astroth has been able to just dominate them with his his abilities. So but Chaos is a strong force to be reckoned with, no doubt about it. Which is going to make this match very even. I'd like to actually take a look at what Worms' prediction is for this. Well, before we get into that. Astroth. He's picked Astroth to win this match. He thinks that he is the key to pinning Chaos. What do you think? Well, again, this is a really tough call. I don't know how much thought that Worms did put into his decision there, but it's going to be a tough call. I mean, most of these are going to be tough calls when you take in all the factors into consideration. But he may be right. Astroth may be the one to pin him. I'm not going to say that's a prediction from me, but it's a good shot. I mean, why not? Astroth has the motivation, and he's going to have the locker room pride from Smashdown, shall we call it, to get the job done. So who knows? What was the big long pause there for? I was just trying to think of what to say next. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Okay. That kind of underlines the whole pointlessness of this being here. I don't know. Yeah. Just we're gonna come to a conclusion now. I think we've covered everything in this match. I think we have. But both Chaos and Astroth just look really impressive. I wouldn't want to be in a decision to say who is going to win exactly, but Eggman, you have to. That's the rules. God dang it. So, is it going to be Astroth to finally pin Chaos, or is Chaos going to prevail? Remember, folks, this is going to be a standard rules match, so you can win by pinfall. You can win by submission, you can win by disqualification, and you can win by a countout. So, there's going to be every opportunity to end the match for Chaos. He doesn't have to necessarily pin Astroth, but of course we put the emphasis on pins in this match. That is the whole idea, is to get a pinfall over your opponent. And if you choose to do otherwise, then you failed the challenge, obviously. And that's something that Astroth always prides himself is meeting the challenge that's presented with him, and he's done so on countless amount of occasions. He's had some impressive showings at a lot of our events. I've been impressed with his work since day friggin' one. Yeah, I have too. There's no doubt about it that Astroff may be the one to beat Chaos, but we'll see. But he's a good favorite to pick, and I'm inclined to go in his corner on that front. So maybe agreeing with Worms again on this one, but I don't know. Chaos has the will have the mindset that I don't want to get pinned at the biggest stage of them all. I want to beat Astroff, who says he can apparently beat me. What if I can beat him? Astroff is going to be focusing on pinfalls, whereas Chaos can be focused on winning by any means. And Chaos is actually not that bad at submissions. He knows how to stretch you in all the wrong places. So who knows? But ooh, this is so tough. I'm gonna say drum roll. I don't have any drums, sorry. I'll start it then. I'm going to pick. Let's go with Astroth. Let's do it. Alright then. Astroth it is. Eggman predicts Astroth, but I'm picking this very lightly. I mean, Chaos has all the more just as much cause to win this as well. I mean, so it's going to be very even. But if Astroth can keep dominating Chaos, I mean, they've never clashed before, so Chaos may be, having false pride. So he may not be expecting this steam train known as Astroth to come charging in, because Astroth, once he gets you, he can dominate you to no end. And if Chaos can match that power, though, he will have a chance. But otherwise, yep. But we'll go with Astroth in this match if he can be the steamroller that we all know him to be. So yes, and it's without a doubt he is going to be. So who knows? But yeah, Astroth is going to be my pick, and that's going to conclude this part, isn't it? It is indeed. But we're going to thank everyone for listening. Not necessarily watching, even though it's on YouTube, but hey, it's one of those shows where you just need to listen. And thanks to all that did take part, and we'll be covering more comments in the next part. Well, we'll be covering all the Raw matches, and that's 5 matches in total, so I hope you're ready for that one, Eggman. I'm ready for it. Bring it on. We've already done 3, and now we got 9 left. I make it. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for me. I've been Mr. AKI. He's been Dr. Eggman, just being himself. Not really. And we'll see you tomorrow for part 2, covering all the Raw matches for Mascot Mania. I will repeat it one more time. If you have any questions to ask for Ask the Roster, which will come at some point after this show, then please do ask a question. Do not hesitate. And they will be featured in the Ask the Roster before Mascot Mania. Oh yeah. So with that being said, we'll say goodbye, and we'll see you tomorrow.